Hey guys, it's Alexis here. It's been a while since we've done one of these sit down videos, so get ready with me. It is 11 p.m. I have no plans, nowhere to go, but it's been a while since I just got ready at night. Like, what is girlhood if you don't, you know? So, last time I sat down and talked with you guys, believe I was in my dorm and I was talking about fate and life and just what do I expect out of it. And I was questioning whether or not I was going to drop out of college. I think I have two videos where I was kind of going back and forth, and I made one called Fate is My Best Friend, and I was talking about how I had made a vision board. And honestly, I think that's where I'm going to start. I created a vision board around January 14th with some of the RAs, and it turned out quite awesome. Fate truly is my best friend. So I made a vision board, and this is it. I was trying to show you guys the actual vision board, but I can't find it. It's somewhere in the closet, where all the rest of my stuff is, but it's a little disoriented. I'm still putting away my clothes and things, but this is my vision board. Right. The amazing thing about this vision board is the fact that I actually manifested the things that are on it. Slowly but surely, they're coming into my life. A couple days before I made the vision board, I had decided to go out. This was around the time where I had just come back from winter break, and it was kind of lonely, kind of, whatnot. But I got tired of asking if people wanted to hang out with me, because it reminded me of freshman year. I had a pretty interesting friend group. It was really well up until it wasn't. And I learned that I just asked for too much. I wanted to go out a lot, and I wanted to take my friends out, and I would ask them to do things, and apparently they didn't like that. Apparently it was annoying how much Alexis wanted to do things. So I said, oh, okay, well, a year later, I want to still go out. I still want to do things. I'm tired of asking people if they want to do that with me. So I didn't. I decided to go and just explore. So one of these nights was a art walk. First of the month, first of the year art walk. And usually I invite people, but once again, it's a new year, new me, and I'm sick and tired of asking people if they want to hang out with me, because I know my time is valuable, and one of these days, I'm not going to be reachable. So the people who didn't, show up when I asked all the time, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, chance is over. So I went. I was sad, but I put on one of my favorite outfits, one of my best fits. I pulled out my fur coat that I haven't worn in a while, and I wore it out. And not gonna lie, I got lost. On my way to the art walk, I got lost. I was like, I want to go to this gallery opening, but I didn't know exactly where it was. I knew that everything was in Pioneer Square, so I headed down to Pioneer Square, and I wandered. And I went to the different galleries and different showings of art. And I got a caricature done. I met some amazing people. And then when I was like, okay, I finished walking through this gallery, I'm going to see where I end up. I end up walking out, and I see the building of this gallery opening that I was planning to go to in the beginning. I found it. I didn't know where it was because I was lost in the beginning, but I ended up finding it. And I went. I didn't RSVP. I was just like, let's see if I can get in. I walk up to the door. The guy greets me, lets me right in. No RSVP, nothing. And I was like, oh, so I'm supposed to be here. Because my whole thing was like, I'm a little sad. I don't know what I'm doing. But I know that something great is going to come out of this as long as I put myself out there. So I did. And I immediately was received well. I ended up meeting so many interesting people. They came up to me. They're like, oh my God, we love your outfit. Da-da-da. It's so awesome. And I was like, thank you. And After talking to some people, this woman comes up to me and she's like, wow, your outfit's amazing. Would you mind if I take a picture? I work for a magazine and I think you would be awesome to be featured in it. And I'm like, what? That'd be so cool. So she takes my picture. We end up retaking it because the lighting from where we originally were standing wasn't the best. So we retake it. And then I kind of end my night at the gallery a couple minutes later. And then I end up meeting up with a friend whose family's in town, who is usually away at school. They go to Yale, so it was cool to see them in town. And I visited them last summer, and it was so awesome. So I love finding, people who, you know what I mean? Like, I just thought that was beautiful that we were in the same area. So I went and said hi to them, and then ended my night. Now, fast forward a couple weeks later, I get a DM from the woman, and she tells me to send over these interview questions to her email. And then she links the magazine, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why does this magazine seem so familiar? And so I look at my vision board. You see where it says public display? Public display art is the magazine. Fast forward a couple months, January to March, I got put in the magazine that I accidentally put onto my vision board. Try not to get makeup on it, but that's me. I was like, what the freak, man? I literally manifested that magazine. And I thought it was really fun, really beautiful. And so, oh, hold on. So, I keep trying to film this video, and my brother's mid-manic episode, and now the cops are on their way. The ambulance is outside. What the fuck? We're gonna try to drown out the noise. Continue on with the video. Okay, so that happened in January when I met the woman, and oh God. So the manifestation was planted in January, and it was before I even realized that I was going to be in that exact magazine. And then God, what the fuck is happening right now? Where's my eyeliner? Sorry. So February rolls around, and the magazine didn't get released till March, but I just wanted to close up that story. But February rolls around, and I start feeling feelings I haven't felt in a couple months. Low-key kind of depression starts to seep back in, and 6 months prior I was really depressed, and it was really bad. So I was like, this isn't working. I make it a couple days into February, and then I stop going to class. Skip one day, turns into just not going. And I'm depressed, so I'm forcing myself to at least get out of bed. So I would take myself out, try to do something, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make it to the end of the quarter. Like, at this point, I wasn't making it toward the end of the quarter. And I'm a communications and music production student, so it's not like you guys are losing a nurse or anything. I just wanted to make people smile. I wanted to make music. I wanted to talk to people about art and just cultural engagement, all of the things that we talk about. Pop culture is one of my favorite things to analyze, so that's what I do. And I actually started a research study in January as well. And I call it the elephant in the room, where I analyze pop culture through a digital lens. And I got some really good responses, but school just isn't working for me. Well, finished with my eyeliner. Yeah, so February, it's not working. Super Bowl Sunday comes around. Every time there's something that has to do with the Seahawks, I'm depressed. They won. Nah. I went to the water and I cried that day. Now, I went to school in Seattle. I was a very social person. But if you watch my most recent Dropout Diaries episodes, you'll actually realize how depressing my years of being a college student were. I'm not gonna lie, it was sad. It was sad. Freshman year sucked in hindsight, and sophomore year kind of sucked in hindsight. And the only thing that made it even bearable was the side quest that I forced myself to go on. And the things that I do as a creative person. I actually had photo shoots this year, and actually throughout the whole 6 months while I was at school, I creative directed a anti-Christmas campaign, anti-capitalism campaign. I helped a friend with a video shoot. You know what I mean? Like, it's like things like that bring me joy. I know that I don't need a college degree to be doing what I want to do. So I decided to leave, and I did. And the thing about these diaries is when I sit in front of the camera, I don't have to talk about the past. I like to talk about what's currently happening in my life. But that was like my catch up. How did I get here for this? And now it's March. I got home and I've done some creative things. I helped my brother-in-law, kind of sister baby daddy situation, around with their music video. I'm not gonna take credit or anything, but I did get to be a part of something within the music industry that made me feel like I'm part of something. And this is how I know that this is the world that I'm supposed to exist in, because music truly is my life. And I just felt glad to be there, and I helped give them ideas and stuff. I took photos. Yeah, music is definitely one of the biggest things in my life. I actually yesterday just got off of a 6-hour Zoom call with Tizo Touchdown, one of my favorite musicians. I saw him a couple years ago, and honestly, I know he creates the space for his fans and people because he's human as well, and it's a very amazing group of fans and supporters because he sees us as human and he's human too. And he's a very creative person. He's a very expressive person. And as a black person, we need more creative, expressive black people in creative fields because, well, not gonna lie, we are the vocal point. We are the stemming point for most creativity. And so sitting in that call, we were on that call for 6 hours, me and 100 to 60 people. And I would just give my opinion, and I told him about my Dropout series because along with all the other creative stuff that I've done since I've dropped out, I started a Dropout Diaries video series where I am talking about what it's like to be a college dropout, because that's my new identity right now, and I don't see a negative thing in it, but it is part of my story, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna stop creating and expressing myself. So I talked about that, and then I also talked about his music and how he gets to be a pivotal person and he wants to create music for the summer. And I'm like, well, if we look at the political state of the world right now, we need someone who brings people together. The people crave community. That's what I think, is we crave community. We need someone who can, create a sense of community, and then everybody follows along, because that's with pop culture, we bandwagon and shit. So that was awesome, and all of these things are just making me realize that I made the right choice. Like, I at first when I came home, I was regretting it. I was depressed. My therapist told me I was in a rut, and I'm like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? But like literally 3 days before I got on that call, I was standing at the water by the beach, and I thought about going in, and I'm like, that's not a good idea either. So I was like, I'm gonna be standing in clear crystal blue waters soon. My plan is move to New York. Do I know how that's gonna happen? Not at all. But I know that I'm gonna continue to keep taking the steps that I need to get there, and I'll be there. And I've aligned myself with the life that I dream because I'm present. I'm currently living the life that I love. And part of my dropout series was explaining like the emotional side of it, the stability side, because all of last summer I was lacking in space, and now that I'm home, this isn't even my room. This isn't my space, but I'm slowly learning to value it because I know that I'm not staying long. You know what I mean? Like, this is my sister's room. I sleep in the studio, which is awesome to say. It's pretty privileged for me to even be able to say that, and I'm very thankful about that. But yeah, this whole 3 months have just been eye-opening, and the 3 months before that have been eye-opening, and being 20 is just so eye-opening. It's not like people are gonna take me seriously, so I might as well just be myself, be expressive, and create. And what's the use in trying? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? So this is just a little catch up for me, for you, whoever, but we'll talk soon. I want to talk more as the days go by. These are kind of like unedited videos where I just sit in front of the camera. If you haven't caught on, there's a couple different styles of videos on my YouTube channel. This is kind of raw, and there's a lot happening, and I just want to be present for all of it. So I'm a college dropout. It's about to be April, and we'll see what these next few months bring, but I accidentally predicted me dropping out. I'm not gonna lie. Also, on my collage, it also says college dropout, but I covered it because I wasn't sure when I made it. Right next to that's me. Right next to the public display art, it says college, and then underneath that speaker, it says dropout. And I was like, I don't want them to see that, the RAs. I don't want them to see that I'm thinking about dropping out in January. I am gone. So yeah, this was a quite long kind of video. I wasn't expecting it to... I was gonna put my wig on and everything, but I feel like I got most of my points that I kind of needed to get out. It's a very interesting state right now that I'm in environmentally. So everybody just send some prayers. Bye.